Greetings, y'all. Greetings. Happy Sunday to you. Inspire Conversations. I saw a sign in Atlanta, or is this Union City? I'm not sure. Of a very popular rapper, and I know it was meant to be inspiring, and actually, for the right person, it would be. And it said, "My mind is God." And to my awareness, this is a very positive person, and they're successful, and they're just trying to encourage the young people with something uplifting to let you know you are the best of the best. But without context, that sign and those words are dangerous. Because the truth is, in my opinion, your mind is actually what you cultivate it to be. If we are beings with both up and down, good and bad, in and out, all inside of us, and you cultivate what gives you results. But what gives you results is not necessarily the highest version of yourself. But because it gives you what you believe are positive results, you'll continue to listen to that voice, to cultivate that voice, and to model your life building upon that part of your mind. When in fact, if you haven't learned the difference between what's what, the best version of you, the best parts of you, and the other part, then you may believe that the God in your mind is the worst of you because it gives you the results you're looking for. Now, the conscious community, the demise of it, to me, I became aware of the conscious community when I was 15 years old. We had a clothing store. My brother-in-law was conscious, and he was quite well known, and he would travel and had a lot of people talking to him, and people would come into our store, celebrities, just all types of people, and debate my brother-in-law about religion, about consciousness, about black community. And at this time, this is 30 years ago now, and this is when publications and things like that would be mailed to black businesses and homes, so you could come to New York or whatever and come to this meeting, and there were magazines about health and wellness and how black people should be eating, and it had to be, the internet wasn't a thing, so you had to put in work to get results, and you really had to be knowledgeable. You had to have the knowledge for real. And I would listen to these brothers debate for hours and hours, and I remember my brother-in-law saying, "You like this, don't you?" I'm like, "Yes." And I learned so much. And as I watched, though these brothers were enlightened, and it just brought me so much awareness, that was the God body era. I am God. Black man is God. And it was very misogynistic, in some cases hedonistic. it was quite bad, and it bred some bad seeds. So, yeah, we all know Brother Polite. at least, and that Brother Polite was later in the game. At least 30 years ago when it was happening, these brothers had to be knowledgeable. They had to read. They had to study. A lot of them came out of prison. And what is there other than reading and lifting to do in prison? So these, a lot of that honestly was prison rhetoric. It was just, it was used to game people. And for the most part, it was a scam. Black consciousness, woke. I can't stand that they take that word. But it was a scam. It was something that people used to manipulate. Now, there's the Pan-Africanists and things like that were serious. I mean, like Asher Kwesi, just so many that were serious. They studied, they traveled, and they dedicated their life to it. But then you have these social media conscious people who came about, I say, over the last 10, 15 years. And they don't do anything. They don't honestly know anything. And a lot of what they repeat, if you look up, I think was it Dr. York? Well, the Nubian Nation. A lot of it is just regurgitating and playing on words from the Nubian Nation, also from certain publications that were out at that time. And they are not intellectual. They are not smart. They are not wise. They are just parrots. They're repeating what they heard over and over again. And then every now and then they throw some original thought in there, because the truth is none of them have any original thoughts. They're all repeating the things I heard 30 years ago. 30 years ago. And these people have platforms. I guess they're thought to be the new black thought leaders. They're speaking on this. They're on panels. It's sad to watch. So I said that to say, just that black man is God, my mind is God, without any true context, directions, or awareness to what that entails, because supreme beings don't manipulate. They work hard not to lie. They're constantly working so they can be the best versions of themselves, because that's supreme. That's why people always say, white supremacy, it's not white supremacy, it's white inferiority, because the point is, the meaning of that word. And being condescending, being derogatory, mean, rude, all of those things, sometimes it's necessary to be a little, not cutthroat, but just straight to the point. And it is what it is. That is necessary. But what these people are polygamists and liars and scammers. And they're all it's coming to light. It's more to come. It's more to come, more to come. And they're going to keep revealing themselves to be people who are just regurgitating all the information that came 60 and 70 years ago on the internet like it's new information, because they don't have an original thought in their pinky, nowhere, because they have moved so far from spirituality, from righteousness, that they would have no idea, as my father would say, what it is if it fell and hit you on the head. So, watching them fall apart, I'm not happy or sad. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's what it is. It's all somewhat been a scam. And they're just falling apart, telling on themselves, showing who they really are. But there's more to come. And without context, black man is God, my mind is God, is dangerous. Because that's where the conscious community and movement came from. People got knowledge, but they didn't get the context. They didn't get the clues. They didn't get the true, the directions to the knowledge. You got the knowledge, but you don't know what to do with it, so you just take it and you misuse it and you make it a scam. That's all I gotta say. Y'all be well. Y'all stay well. Always well. Peace.